Hey, what's up everybody, it's Tuna. So today I wanted to go over some of the strategies that I think are the best here to farm in Torchlight Infinite. So first of all, I want to go over the two main zones that I will run all the time. That is Voidlands. Voidlands is a good zone because it has some decent layouts. There's one or two that are not great, but the best thing about it is that it drops this card here, the Fiend Crown. It is very rare, but when it drops, that's an extra 50 FE that you can bank. There you go. And the second zone that I like to farm is the Steel Forge. Now there's some layouts here that I don't like too much, but you can sort of avoid those, and it's not that big of a deal anyways. They've sort of streamlined most of the maps in that the bad layouts will have more mobs, and yeah, so in turn you're getting kind of rewarded for that in a way. But the reason for that is because, as you can see here from the boss drops, there's this necklace called a Warden's Breastpin, which is really expensive. It's 400 FE, right? So yeah, it's a very rare drop as well. Of course, as you can see, there's not many on the market. There's very high demand for it though, and yeah, that is going to net you a lot of FE. So now that I've established the two zones that I like to farm, I want to go over some of the cards that I like to use for these zones. So I've made a deck here just to show you guys exactly what I prefer to go for. And now I think these cards are actually pretty insane. All of these chaos cards are really useful because they are they're going to be able to draw from the deck of cards that you have not actually selected yourself. And what Torchlight has done lately, it's moved a lot of the power away from the players in the sense that like you're not able to choose the most powerful cards. They're mostly drawn, so that your strategy is dependent. You know, you have to sort of mold your strategy around what cards you draw from the chaos deck. Now, the main card that I want to talk about though is the Dark Surge card, because if any card is not drawn from the chaos deck, you can just run this card and you will always have success. There are cards within this card set which are going to be able to spawn bosses, right? So there's one card that spawns 60% chance to spawn a boss. And I'll show you here in the chaos deck. So you can see here that you can draw 60% chance to spawn a boss. And then you can also draw 100% chance to spawn an additional boss. And why is that good? That's because the bosses, they drop the invitations for Keegan. And each of these are about 7 FE each. And you can actually end up drawing about like two of these and then one of these. Meaning you'll have like 3 or 4 bosses per Dark Surge encounter. And these have an inheritance of 3. So that means that you'll have them up for a total of 4 maps, including the map that you run it on. So when you draw the 60% chance, and then you actually end up drawing another 100% chance, that's when I recommend you use the compasses for it. So essentially, like, imagine I were to draw that, I will use this here Dark Surge compass, right? So it guarantees the spawn, because there is a small chance that you do not spawn Dark Surge in these maps, and you don't want to run that chance if you have a guaranteed 2 bosses. So yeah, that's something that I'll do and I'll look forward to if I haven't drawn any other cards that I want to run, right? But there are combinations of cards that are just insane that I want to go over, and that is another chaos card that I want to show that you only get by defeating the T8 Watcher here in the Glacial Abyss zone. So it's really important that you go into the Glacial Abyss zone and you kill the T8 Watcher as soon as possible, because there is a chaos card, a commodity card. You can see here, non-legendary gear dropped has a 48% chance to become flame fuel. What does that mean? That means that if you were to drop any sort of legendary gear, any non-legendary gear, sorry, it's going to have a 48% chance to be dropped as a flame fuel, right? And that synergizes really well with other cards, such as these 2 cards here. You can see here that this card has a 15% chance to drop 2 additional flame fuels. In this situation, it's not relevant, but this is the main one that you want to go for. It's flame fuel dropped, have a 10% chance to be upgraded, right? So all those flame fuels that are dropped from the mobs that are converted from gear are then turned into potentially flame elementium, right? So if you end up drawing that card and you have this conversion card, that is absolutely insane. That is definitely the combination you want to go for. And what you want to pair that with is you want to pair that with additional monsters, of course. You want to go for additional rare monsters. And then you want to get the dropped gear, right? So this compass here is going to give me 350% additional dropped quantity of gear, and then you can actually stack even more of that there. So yeah, that is something to look out for sure in terms of one of the strategies that you can do to farm FE. One thing I do want to mention though is that rolling your maps now is absolutely insane. When you roll your maps, it makes it a lot more difficult. Not only does it also give you a lot of quantity and rarity, but you can see that from the modifiers here, I click it a few times, and what's going to happen is that it's going to add 11 additional rare monsters, right? So as I'm clicking this, it adds more rare monsters. What this means is that the cards such as this one here, which has a 15% chance for rare monsters to drop 2 additional flame fuels, it's basically going to increase the value of this, right? So this is something that I do once I draw both this card and that card, so Benevolent and Generous, because then you can actually go into T8s, which is going to increase the amount of drops you earn, and then you can increase the amount of rare monsters that spawn, and then juice that up even further with additional, compasses, like for example, additional rares, or you can go for like flame fuel drops and things like that. Be mindful that these are kind of expensive, so you need to sort of juice your map enough for that to be worth it, of course. And since these do have inheritance, you can also like pair that up and chain them into other cards, like such as this one, right? So this is just basically going to increase the amount of flame fuels drop by 40%. Quantity in this game is insane, so definitely keep in mind of that, and yeah, be mindful of how you chain your cards and what your cards lead into, of course. So that is the second combination of cards that I like to go for. Now, what do I do to increase the odds of those cards being drawn, and what the outcomes of my deck, right? So since a lot of the cards that I think are really fantastic come from the Chaos deck, I do like to get Longing. So this is going to draw 1 commodity card. I still haven't upgraded it. It's kind of rare to draw. But essentially what that's going to do, it's going to increase the chance of me drawing the insane card that I showed you earlier, the 50% chance for gear to be converted into fuels. So I will click that one for sure. There's another one here that removes rare cards from the plane and randomly draws 2 rare Chaos cards. And once it's leveled all the way up, it doesn't even cost the Chaos Invasion attempt. So when that's drawn, that's basically, I'm going to look around here and I'm going to think to myself, is there any rare cards, which is purple by the way, that I care about? If not, then I will use that card, because in a situation where I have Black Sail, right? There's a potential for me to actually draw an insane Black Sail card, which you can see here. And this is a rare Black Sail card that is basically going to make it so every flame fuel that you drop from the Black Sail chest is turned into an additional flame elementium. So essentially, you can have chests that basically drop like upwards of 30 FE, right, in one go if you draw this card. So it's really, really insane. So make sure that you are also adding 1 or 2 Black Sail cards into your deck for the potential that you can actually draw that card. And you want to have Whispers of Wealth and Whispers of Wonder. That is because Whispers of Wealth is going to give you, of course, flame fuel drops in the chest, and Whispers of Wonder is going to give you conversion things such as like converting gear into fuel and that kind of stuff. So Black Sail is pretty much my last resort in terms of what I'm going to do, and it's really dependent on drawing that Chaos deck card, because I think if you don't draw that Chaos deck card, it's actually not that great. So I will keep that as always like a second or third option. But lastly, if I don't draw any of these cards, then I will just basically go for a Goddess Trial, right? So Goddess Trial essentially is just boss rushing. I will try to pair that with Solemnity, so that means that 2% of the legendary gear dropped by bosses become fine legendary gear, so there's a very small chance of you dropping like an actually valuable unique. And then I will pair that with Perception. So for example, I didn't draw anything good in this round. You can see that I didn't get my Dark Surge card, I didn't get the combination of Flame Fuel, I didn't get the upgrade Flame Fuel. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go for Solemnity, and I'm just going to go for Perception after, so that I can just boss rush for the rest of the round, and then I'll just click on these like random cards, potentially even just like rush going for a Watcher. And yeah, those are the main things that I do to earn currency in this game. And the main ways that you can actually earn a lot of currency, of course, by doing beacons. So definitely try to look at all the Chaos deck cards and familiarize yourself with them. The main thing that I really want to stress is how good Dark Surge is. you will have times where you drop just like 15 FE from one Dark Surge. So yeah, definitely go for Dark Surge if possible, and make sure that you upgrade this card as fast as possible, and look for the boss spawns and the additional boss spawns. Now, beacons are really insane, but also one thing to note is that like it does take a little bit of setup, and some people just want to blast, right, and make a lot of currency. How you can do that is Path of Brave. So Path of Brave is actually just absolutely insane in terms of currency, because not only can you buy these for 2 and then sell these for 3, so that pretty much guarantees 1 FE per Path of Brave. But essentially also you're going to get additional drops, and there is a ton of drops that you can get from there. There's also rare drops in the form of uniques. And yeah, you can go for like, you know, Path of Brave, Proof of Brave 2. I think this is what you want to aim for at the very least. Proof of Brave 3 is where things start to get really insane, because it drops, here you can see it drops a memory that actually gives you you know, a special skill. So essentially what that means is precise cast on crit, precise cast while channeling, that kind of stuff can cost like 200 to 400 FE depending on when you sell it, of course. So yeah, Proof of Brave is just consistent money. Anybody can do it. Do Proof of Brave 2 and upgrade them to 3 and then sell the 3s, and that's already pretty good profit. But if you can do 3 and then sell the 4s, that is absolutely insane profit, of course. And yeah, that pretty much sums up my card deck, what I think is you know, the best farming strategies at the moment. Of course, let me know if I've missed anything. There's a lot of strategies that are sort of underground that people don't really share, but so far this is what I've sort of found to be the most effective and the most time efficient for me to farm, and how I've been making a ton of FE this season in the cube of Rapacity, of course. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do let me know if there's any farming strategies that maybe I've missed, or something that you want to point out. You know, let us know. I'm definitely keen on learning more about the game. So yeah, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you guys again soon, and have a great day. Peace out, guys.